I'm gonna have to compete with the kitty cat here because I set this all up to go and she decided to sit here. So I mentioned in a group today that I was gonna do this video about being you, being yourself, and being the invitation to a different possibility. And I had this experience over the weekend, and I realized that this is the better format to share it in versus Facebook Live. And this experience rocked my world. Hey kitty, Moksha, there we go. I now have some space. This experience rocked my world in so many ways, and it begins with an event that I didn't actually really feel like going to, and we can't really trust our feelings sometimes, like most of the time, right? You have to ask yourself, instead of like, I don't feel like this, okay, if I choose this, is it going to create something greater for me in my life? And I really got that it was going to go to this benefit dinner. So plus my husband's on the board, so he was like, we kind of have to go, although I could have stayed home and he could have gone. So I went, and it was at this magnificent location. The invitation didn't really convey the energy of what was truly being offered. The location was a $15 million plus estate in Hawaii, overlooking the ocean, just gorgeous. A 2-tiered swimming pool with a water slide, and not that we got to swim, but it was just exquisite with this indoor-outdoor sliding glass door that opened to a little concert room where we were. The people have like 3 kitchens there, and totally generous, beautiful people. Kind. So Moksha really wants to be interactive here. Okay. And there was a pianist there, in addition to like the most exquisite food I've had in a long, maybe ever. But how does it get better than that? So, the pianist, and I'm not kind of a private person, but has won a Grammy, and just amazing, and invited us to actually go under the piano to sense the vibration and just to lie down and relax. Now the really interesting thing is, like, when he said, he gave that invitation that this is what I've been doing for the last little while with my friends, and he said, you're invited, thank you, to come under the piano. And I was like, that's me. Let's go. I'm ready for this. And I and 2 other women went to lie down on the floor in our nice clothes under the piano. And it was so moving. The vibration, and it made us giggle at one point and cry, and just such a vibratory, amazing time. So anyway, not very many people wanted to do this. So they and I lay under there for a couple of songs, like 2-3 songs. Finally, we get up, to offer someone else an experience of being down there, and the pianist said, hey, does anyone have anything they want to say or any questions? And I raised my hand. I said, hey, y'all, to be down there is amazing. And if you don't go down there, I'll go back again, because I laughed and I cried and I vibrated, and it was just like a transcendent experience, because you're in the presence of genius, right? A genius piano player, won a Grammy, amazing music, and so I just said, like, this is available, and if you don't do it, I will. So more and more people started to go lie down on the floor, and you could see their faces as they re-emerged after the songs, Glowing or World Rocked or whatever it was, and I recognized that like so many people would not have chosen that if I had not invited. So that's the first part of it. If I had not invited them to it and really been like, here it is. The second part of this is a vulnerability that I've been exploring more and more, because if you're going to create a life that's greater than the one you currently have, you're gonna have to step up your level of vulnerability. So one of the elements of that is asking for what you desire. So after the music was over, this piano player was milling about, and it was time for dessert and drinks and stuff like that, and I just said to him, you said that you have people come lie on the floor at home when you play. Would you mind if I come do that? And he was like, oh, that's fine. Let's get each other's number and do that. And, for me to ask that was this level of vulnerability where I was like, well, I'm super uncomfortable to ask, and he might say no, but what's the worst that's gonna happen, right? He says no, and then that's it. It's an automatic no until I ask. If I'm willing to ask, then it might be a yes. So I went and I did that on Tuesday, and I just lay on the floor, and he created a song that's never been played before, like a conversation between the two of us. And I guess, and it was like so transcendent, really just such a special experience. And what I'm inviting you to is, what can you ask for that you haven't been asking for, that if you are willing to step up your level of vulnerability and just ask, even if you don't know, maybe they'll say no. And what if that's okay, because it's not about you, and you are a success because you are willing to ask, because you are willing to go outside that box of what's comfortable for you and stretch the boundaries of who and what you're willing to be. And just by doing that, whether, no matter what the answer is, no matter what the other person says, like, it's expanded you, and therefore it's a success. And so that's what I invite you to. What can you ask for that you haven't been asking for? And are you asking big enough in your life? Because a lot of times what we're asking for actually doesn't show up because we're not asking big enough. We're asking for what we've concluded we can have. Oh, okay, well, I know I can have that, so I'll ask for that. It's not really the over-the-moon amazing thing that I'd like to have, but I know I can have it, so that's what I'm asking for. Instead, and the first time I really heard this was in a conversation with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, in which a woman kept searching for apartments, and every time she would be like, oh, this is a good one, I can get this one, they'd give it to somebody else. And he was like, you're not asking big enough. So where in your life are you not asking big enough and not asking for what you'd really like to have or experience or be, because you're asking instead for what you know you can get? Oh, I can get that one, therefore I'll just ask for that. I know I've been there too, right? I've definitely had experiences in my life where I'm like, I know I can have that, so that's all I'm gonna ask for. I'm not gonna ask for like this, and this, because I'm not sure I can have that. And what if the world is just waiting for you to ask? Not the world, the universe. What if it's easier for it to deliver that big thing? Because you actually don't have so many points of view about how to get it, and strategizing and trying and all of that. Because trying and need and all of that weighs it down. All right? So that's my little spiel for the night. I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe. Please subscribe, comment, share it, whatever's inspiring for you, because if you do one of those 3 things or all of them, YouTube will share this with other people. And if not, then not always so much. All right, like it, whatever. Don't you wish there was a love button here? Or whatever. All right, have a good one. And if you'd like some free meditations to create your life and a money rain exercise, head to meetkathywilliams.com with a K and an S at the end. All right, have a good one, everybody. Aloha.